when it comes to like exercise selection, like and then execution of them, say like a back squat or something like that. We always hear squatting below 90 when you're back squatting, front squatting, whatever. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, is that a priority? Like, should people really be worrying about squatting below 90, ass to grass, what we used to call it back in the day? Like, is that necessarily a common occurrence that should be happening in the gym when someone's strength conditioning?
I'm going to hit you with two answers. The first is we don't back squat any of our athletes, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we haven't back squatted anybody. Unless they're a barbell sport athlete, honestly, I think the back squat's a little overrated. In that,
I'm gonna clip that, and then we're gonna go ahead and put that on the internet.
Yep. I know that'll be controversial, but I think the back squat's overrated for a couple reasons. Number one, the spinal compression alone is not worth it. As jiu-jitsu athletes, our spines are constantly being compressed, and so adding extra compression to the spinal column, I think, is overkill. The second is from a sports performance perspective. Very rarely are we 2 feet on the ground, 50% weight on either foot, pressing in one direction. And so we use a lot of single leg versions of the squat in order to get a better, safer, because there's no spinal compression, and more, it's an adaptation that's more likely to translate to the sports performance side of things. So you'll see split squats, Bulgarian split squats, or rear foot elevated split squats, single leg squats. Yeah, I know. They're not fun. They're not fun, but they are. They work. Honestly, they work, and they're, they are one of the best ways to develop single leg strength. Is hands down like it's the way. It is the most transferable quality you can build in the gym from a strength perspective, right? It's because you do everything one leg at a time. You walk one leg at a time, run one leg at a time. When you're passing the guard, you're like I said, very rarely with both feet on the ground, 50% on both feet. You're shifting your weight from side to side, oftentimes having to balance on one leg while somebody tries to push and pull you. So developing that single leg strength is key. As far as the depth goes, I think it's really, really important to train as close to a full range of motion as you can. It might not seem like you need to go like ass to grass or, like all the way through the thing, but as close to it as possible is better. Because if you think about like jiu-jitsu, if you're on your back and somebody's pressuring into you and you've got your feet on their hips or their chest or their shoulder or whatever, your knee is getting compressed all the way in. Your heel's probably on your butt at some point, and you're going to have to push them off. And so if you haven't trained that range, it's going to be more difficult to do so when you get on the mats.